The following program is a production of Pioneer Public Television. Major support for Compass is provided by the ongoing support of the Leo P. Flynn Estate of Millbank, South Dakota. Additional support is provided by the Southwest Minnesota Private Industry Council, promoting Southwest Minnesota as a place rich with opportunity. Come for the jobs, stay for the lifestyle. More information at swmnpic.org.
Hello and welcome to Compass, a production of Pioneer Public Television. I'm Les Heen, your host for Compass. It's a weekly discussion of public policy and important issues facing our viewing area. This week, we will talk about how animal and equine therapies have grown in rural areas. We'll have representatives from two organizations, and we'll touch on what challenges these kinds of therapies face and how it's changed over the years. But first, we'll have Pioneer's Laura K. Prosser. She's going to take us to Spicer, where a new equine center has set down roots. Here's Laura's report.
Sometimes animals just have a way of looking at you like they're looking at the heart of the matter. With horses, the gentle giants of the animal kingdom, they seem to have an uncanny ability to connect with troubled individuals. Or at least that's what Doug and Tammy have experienced at the Delta Equine Center in Spicer, Minnesota. They're here to tell us a little bit about the new center and more about their work with horses and humans alike. Doug, Tammy, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about what interested you in equine therapy.
Well, it really started many years ago as I started working on my dissertation. My dissertation specifically was on horses and the dynamic of power that exists within a herd. And as I became immersed in that work, I quickly discovered that that's relevant to any aspect of life, whether it's in a classroom, in a gathering, anywhere. From that, Tammy as a social worker and I started exploring opportunities to see how we could use horses to work with individuals, and we did some camps, and it just continued to blossom from there.
That being said, what pushed you from camps to starting the center itself?
I went on to get my graduate degree and to do some supervision hours to become a licensed independent clinical social worker. And so that allows me to be able to do therapy with people. And I had done some experience in outpatient program and really fell in love with that type of therapy and thought, you know, what more could we do outside of an office setting? Instead of just sitting in an office doing talk therapy, what more could we offer individuals to have an experience that might be more beneficial, especially for those people who don't respond well to traditional therapy?
It's kind of a group effort here at the center, so tell us a little bit about that dynamic.
So we've gone through some specific training to be able to do this kind of work through EGALA, which is an acronym that stands for Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association. And in that training, Doug is known as the equine specialist because of his experience and expertise with horses. And I am known as the equine assisted psychotherapist because of my training and background that I've gone through to do this type of work. And so it's really a team approach. We each bring certain strengths to the therapy team, and the horse is just as much of an important member of that team as Doug and I are because of the role that they play.
What kind of impact have you seen firsthand? As Tammy said earlier, traditional therapy doesn't always work.
I think of one individual who spent time with us and in a very short period of time came one afternoon, did this session with us, and she looked at us and she said, "I'm done." And we said, "Wow, great." And she said, "What has taken me this period of time of six sessions has taken me years in another setting never to have reached this point." And so being in the presence of the horse allows an individual to do that internal reflection. So it's not to say that other forms of therapy are not good, they are, but there's something about being in the presence of that animal that is just phenomenal.
To wrap up, tell our audience about how a session may go in the arena.
It's done with an intake session to begin with that Tammy does. And then from there, I select what horse or horses would be used in that therapy session. And then based on what the goals for that individual or for the family might be, they begin to make meaning of what's going on in the arena and how that affects their goals and what's going on in their life. I've done a number of sessions with individuals who are in transition, trying to figure out where they might want to be next in their life. And it's been incredible watching how that horse is able to lead at times where they need to go or not go, because they're responding to what the individual is feeling, what they're giving off, and so the horse responds to that.
That is it for us in Spicer, Minnesota. I'm Laura K. Prosser, producer of Compass. Now back to Les in the studio.